like to call the Water Commissioners meeting to order here on Zoom and 540 Main Street on August 8th, 2024. The provision signed by our governor. We are holding this meeting in accordance with the law on Zoom as well as in person should it need to be accommodated. Opening the meeting here at 7:01 p.m. Can I have a roll call, please?
Jess
Oh, I'm
Panioli
sorry.
present.
Point of, I'm getting ahead of my, it's been a long time since I ran a meeting. I would also like to announce that TCAM is recording the meeting and will upload it to YouTube. And now, may I please have a roll call of members and call of citizens?
Jess Panioli present.
Nathan Madela present.
Dave Vigeron, Superintendent, present.
And other
And we're
attendees.
looking for Chaz.
No, Chas Sexton, Duranian Selectmen's Liaison.
I don't have any additions or deletions. This meeting was called for the serious issue of the reoccurring vandalism at the Witches Brook. Well, Dave, why don't you tell us exactly what's going on? You've brought up vandalism before, and you've said that in the meetings that we've had issues. This has now become a repetitious thing. So I'd like to hear what the latest is.
Well, I'm going to go right down from the script that I gave you guys. So the major problem is the vandalism, the well building, and the equipment, break-ins of the buildings, and that's the major problem. Then there's the minor problems where people walking through and not picking up their animal waste and walking within 20 feet of the well. Off-road vehicles have been in there, and which are tearing up the land and dripping oil, but those are minor compared to the vandalism and the break-ins. There's a pathway from Spruce Road to Ash Street going in between the wells and the buildings. There's also a minor issue about dumping of yard waste and other waste on the property, mainly on Walnut Street. So the next part is considerations. This is Zone 1, and the security is defined by the state. We're not going to have anyone in the Zone 1. A break in a well building would allow access to chemical feed pumps. Upping chemical feed rate could kill people if they started fooling around with those mechanisms. There's also a new generator coming in that will be outside the fence of Witches Brook Well 2, but that can get moved in. When you have new fences, there's going to be snow removal issues, lay down area for cranes, used for maintenance, and tampering with the water supply is a felony. It's not a misdemeanor. And we don't really want to ruin someone's life for someone being mischievous, but that's one of the reasons why a fence is a lot better than having somebody arrested. Use of existing fence and relocating of existing fences can be done to reduce cost. And what can we do? Restrict access to the well area by adding to or relocating existing fence. This would stop cutting through on the existing path, and we get rid of the youth spontaneous vandalism. That's when, you know how our kids are. Something pops in their mind and they just do it. Just the window for the backhoe, which was smashed, was $360. And we have doors that we can not close properly during this winter, but that's already been taken care of. That's when they rehab the well starting next week. They're going to put new doors on for us. Signage. One of the commissioners asked me to get signs made, which every well site should have signs on them for no trespassing. So we got a limited number for 10 just to put on the paths to make some kind of effort. And then long-term is security cameras and alarms. That would be a long-term goal. And that would take a little bit of time to do that.
Yeah, I know I had said something about earlier about we had actually had problems, and we had a trail cam out at one point, and the person had been caught and had painted. It was tasked with painting over the vandalism that they had contributed. I don't know why that practice stopped. Probably because it was hard to just constantly check a SD card all the time. We had done something, and then it kind of stopped once there was no problem. Certainly, cameras is a very expensive undertaking, depending on how you look at it, and certainly putting it through the SCADA system probably would be the most expensive way to do it. But it's certainly something that the board should discuss in depth.
So just for a heads up, I got a price for the same camera that's going into Harbor Trace to put one on Witches Brook and at Main Street, and both of them, just the SCADA portion of it and the camera for the two sites is a little over $4,000.
How long ago was that game camera there, and for how long was it there?
You know, Jess, I had asked some guys on site. I had stopped down at one point to take a picture of the logo of one of the trucks that was there, and I saw one of the guys, and I said, "Hey, do we still have cameras here?" Nobody seemed to know what I was talking about, or I might not be remembering it correctly. I think that there was just no camera. And it was surrounded. I'm sorry, I'm a little under the weather. There was some, I think somebody had spray painted a part of a building, and it was a return issue. I think it was the last of it was the spray painting, and we found out who did it. We had them. What was your question again? Yes.
How long ago were the cameras there? So are those trail cams still there?
I did not get an answer to my question.
We have no idea when those were about. There's no evidence of them.
The chair recognizes the water office.
They were there about 2011. It's still there as far as I know, and Paul had it on his laptop. But the quality wasn't any good anymore towards the end, and the picture was very pixelated. So just an FYI.
Thanks,
That
Brenda.
will happen. That will happen with trail cams. They do degrade after a number of years being outside. Certainly, that was a good temporary thing, and it was effective at the time. But certainly, something more permanent should be. We should definitely put something on an agenda to discuss all types of way to videography, to get cameras up, do something. Something so that if something happens, we have eyes on the ground. I don't know if it needs to be supervisory access. Certainly that would be a extra bell or whistle, but it should be discussed. I think this meeting we should focus on the fence, and I was curious. I wanted this meeting called because I know you had gotten quotes. I wanted to see what you had sent out for these companies to get quoted as far as I did see your drawing, but it was still a little unclear. So I felt it would be nice to talk about that, ask what scope was, and look at these quotes and get something voted in, possibly to get installed ASAP.
Well, with the quotes, you'll see the drawing that was supplied.
Uh, Chaz, are you ready to give us some sort of a screen share so we can take
Yep.
a look at this?
Yep, I'm gonna start, Dave, with how you have sent this over to everybody. You just tell me which one you want me to go to, okay?
Okay. Just put the first one up and any of them will work, and I'll just explain what the people are saying. This shows, this actually shows what in a smaller area, because you wanted the whole thing. If you look towards the bottom, you see the two swamp areas. What's in blue is the existing fence. What's in red is adding fence to the existing fence to be able to close off the area. If you look on the bottom, that would go from swamp to swamp, and that would close off that whole side. And on the top part is connecting those two areas together would close off that path. So from either direction, it would close off the site and stop people from walking through.
Okay. Question. Are you proposing? Oh, thank you, Chaz. That's gold. So the front or the main driveway of this facility is on Ash Street.
Correct, which is to the left.
And am I missing Ash Street because it's very light gray?
Yeah, I
is-
think it got cut off. You'll
Is
see
that where the purple
walnut on the
is?
top.
The purple line, is that
Yeah, it says where it
Basically-
says 10-inch AC.
okay?
Which-
Okay. So you have a fence there. So am I the first blue section with a red square in it? That is a structure.
That's the well building with a fence around it.
Okay, gotcha. And then the red is to be added, and that section in the road would include a gate, correct?
Correct.
Access gate for a vehicle.
Correct.
Are there any other gates proposed in this quote?
We're on all the way to the right. We're going to put it where it says add fence, and the second wall to the right. We're going to put a gate right there. That we're going to reuse the gate that's on the well for there, because there's monitoring wells that we have to have access to
Is
that
that
are on the
a
woods.
is that a man door, or is
Yes.
that a
That's a man door.
so it's like a 3 foot wide?
Right. We're using one of the gates that are on the well currently.
What do we have for an existing fence? What's it classified as? Galvanized, the gauge and such.
Galvanized steel. Chain link.
And the height?
8 feet.
And what was proposed?
The same exact fence, and reusing portions of that fence where that are good enough to reuse.
I was looking through my emails. I did not see the other 3 quotes. I do see the breakdown of the 3 proposals, the breakdowns of the 3 quotes. Do you have that on your PDFs, Chaz? Actually, this is one of them right here.
Yep.
This is their drawing.
Yeah, yes. And that's what every one of them are going to do, the exact same thing.
Who was the winning bidder in your eyes?
Oh, it's not even close. It's called On the Fence. They were we had one bid for 29,595. That was the highest bid. The next bid, which was B&B fence, Gate City was 23,350, and on the fence was 20,000 even.
Not a
We,
ton, but
we
it's
don't
still a
have
little bit.
we don't have a picture of that, Dave, right?
What's that?
We don't have the copies of the bids, right?
Not only the winning bid, and we have the breakdown that we have to send down to the town hall. But we'll send all the bids when it gets to
So
it gets
Gate
to
City
Katie.
fence wasn't the one that we're gonna go with here?
Gate City fence was $23,350.
Okay.
I,
So-
I'm sorry I did put in the whole page of all the three bids and the breakdown on the bid page, the quote page. It's in your packet. It's in record and evaluation of written quotations at the top.
I see it now, Brenda.
So B&B fence, did they provide a detailed drawing like Gate City?
They did.
Do we have that?
It was in where their bid package was. And I don't think that came through.
Okay. And on the fence. All right. I would like to be able to go my intent is to be able to go through this in a meeting and have everything in our packet at the least. It doesn't, I love having it on the screen in the Zoom meeting, especially so the public can see what's going on and what's, what we're doing here.
Did I get a copy of that? Of the bids?
It was in your packet.
I didn't get a packet, Brenda.
Everyone got a packet. They were all mailed together.
I was looking prior. I didn't see anything.
So, let me see.
I'm not seeing it. I don't know about anyone else.
It was in the same email that she sent
Okay.
out that had the Zoom meeting on it. It was there was two. So if you got the one with the Zoom meeting, it's in that email. There's two attachments to that email.
August 8th.
Right, I
agenda
just sent
on the
this-
6th.
With the email that it was on the fence, the winning bid, and then the form. That's all I sent. And then Dave sent all the maps.
Right.
On
Okay.
Tuesday, so I
So
just sent 2
I
pages.
think we have everything that you're saying we have. It's just
Yeah.
specifically what I was looking for is the drawing, just like Gate Cities, from B and B.
Hang on.
Dave, is it the one that says swamp on it? Is that the one?
No,
That's the hand drawn.
there's one that I sent to the three companies, and they each one of them had their own drawing, exactly like Gate City.
I don't see that one. No, I don't see it either.
It didn't get sent out. You only sent out those three items.
Oh, okay, all right.
I think it's fine in this case. They were the quite a bit higher than the two that are closer. If that makes any sense. I'm really sorry, folks. I'm just not. I am not with it today, or I've been under the weather.
Do you see that?
I have that. Yes, I have that. So I'm still looking at for B&B's drawing. B&B's scope drawing their rundown.
I'm not.
I don't think we have it. But whereas they're $7,000 over the or $6,000 roughly over the second lowest bidder, I don't think it would be put into consideration. But without seeing the nuts and bolts, it's hard to say. So in the future, when we're doing a project like this, I would like to know these sort of things. I would like to
I'll make sure
put
to,
out before but just for transparency's sake, so we as a board can discuss it, look at all this, and bounce ideas off of each other. Then yeah, I'm now looking at on the fences. Is there any further discussion about that, Jess? I'm sorry, I don't. Is there anything you would like to see?
No, I'm good with this, honestly.
So you were saying, Dave, that On the Fence LLC is a clear winner in your mind,
correct.
and they're going to install approximately 528 feet of 6-foot high galvanized chain link fence.
Correct.
So you said the existing fence was 8 feet high?
I mean, it is 6 feet. That's my mistake. It's 8 feet with the barbed wire.
So Gate City had said no barbed wire on part of their drawing.
Right. I didn't have them put any barbed wire in there. It's a lawsuit liability. Even if somebody crawls in it, if they get caught in that, if somebody's going to work that hard to climb it, we're going to have to have the security cameras. But to find someone hanging upside down the next morning is not a good thing.
No. And the damage that can be done, like you said, turning a dial. I wanted to ask you, what are you doing, NaOH over there?
Correct. Right now we are.
Okay.
And Witches Brook 1 will have it. Witches 2 will, once the treatment plant is finished, Witches 2, that tank will be removed. Because that one's over the new EPA PFAS limits, but Witches 1 isn't. And we still can send that out to Witches 1 out to the system in the future if something happened to the treatment plant.
So you're not doing barbed wire on the top of the fence. Are you doing the last link? I don't know what the term is. Maybe a fence guy would have said anything to you where the fence is not continuous, but it's slightly overlapped.
What you just said is what's going to be on the top.
Is there a term for that?
I don't know what the term is.
Is there a reason there won't be barbed wire on the top? Being a homeland security type of issue?
Because it gets to be if somebody goes up and
It's a liability, Jessica.
right,
Okay.
if they can sue you for having a dangerous swear to God,
This
they
is
can sue you
Massachusetts.
for being
I
stuck up
believe
there.
you.
So it's not a good thing. We don't want to kill somebody or hurt somebody, but we just want to the people who are going to break in are going to break in no matter what. We're trying to keep the honest people honest, and the cameras cameras connected to the skater will set an alarm for whoever's on call in the long run.
I don't think we have to keep honest people honest. Honest people keep themselves honest.
Well,
At home.
It's well, I like to. I have too much faith in the human race, I guess.
Right. Well, we're trying to
yeah.
keep kids from having spontaneous episodes and give them a couple minutes to actually think of what they're doing before they do it. And
Hmm.
that's what the fence is for.
Hopefully this won't be seen as a challenge. So furthermore, I'm really concerned about, even with a fence, what you propose for security measures for the facility, even though it's going to be temporary, that you do have a tank there with chemical, what you plan to do about beefing up security for that.
Well, we're putting on the new doors. That's happening within the next 2 weeks.
And the difference between the old and the new doors.
Well, right now the old doors are from the 1970s. They're all dented. They're all warped. There's, they're pretty much worn out, and they don't close tightly. So you can get some leverage and pull them open. So the new doors will be the state of the art, and that's being paid for by the PFAS building project.
Okay. So instead of like a monitored, very expensive, I mean, $4,000 for a couple of cameras, I'm thinking probably three cameras, 4,000.
Well, each one's going to have each set is going to have 4 cameras in it.
So you already have a plan.
That I priced it out, and I got a price today. It's the same. So, but that's something that we're going to discuss later on, and when I get more information on it. But it's the same camera system that is at Harbor Trace that will be connected to the SCADA system. If you like it, you can vote that in. If you don't like it, we can figure out something else.
Well, I know cameras are very expensive.
Right, but this is the camera and the
Hooking it
machine
into
that
the
goes in the
SCADA
building to send the signal back. So
So what my thought is the critical point for having someone and being notified of someone on that property is if that door breaks open. So
Right.
perhaps something would be a little more less expensive that we could explore is to maybe a line break security system, not line break. Basically every door would be on a sensor. The door, any egress would be on a sensor. So if that
Right,
egress was opened or accessed, someone would be immediately notified if it was someone that was.
right, but that's part of that synopsis I had was cameras and or alarms.
Okay.
It's in there. So
Okay, awesome.
we need to do both.
So,
Yeah.
Mr. Chair, if I may,
Oh, yes, I'm sorry, Chess.
so the cascade that you guys want to look at should be something like notification is your first step, deterrence is your second step, and prevention is your third. So your notification would be your signs, the no trespassing signs, because nothing can be done if those signs are not up. You also need to be able to notify the police department that this is what's going on here. This is what we're seeing. This is what we're concerned about. And this is what our next steps are doing so that the police department is aware of it. They can also have eyes and ears over there at any given time if you guys need it. And that's a coordination between, I would feel, the superintendent and the police department. Deterrence would be the fencing, putting up the fencing. You want to be able to keep the individuals out. If they are, I personally didn't realize that people were walking that close to those wells. And we really need to keep people out of that area. That is a security risk, not only for our water system, but a security risk and a liability for the town. The last part is prevention, and that prevention is your ideas with cameras. That is more of a capital issue that you guys would need to discuss on a later time. But I personally feel that the notification and deterrence, because of the level of the incidents that are happening, Those need to be happen more readily. So I would suggest trying to do those two right now immediately, and then put on future meetings that you guys have on how you're going to set up your preventions.
Well said, Chaz. Thank you, and you're clearly very knowledgeable through your expertise as selectman, and we're very fortunate to have you helping us here. Thank you. So yeah, so Todd had said order signs. What do we think about needing the minimum signage to be able to trespass? Or I forget the actual law. It's every, Dave, I think I heard you
Every
say this.
100 feet.
Yeah.
But if we put them at the head of the paths, when I talked to the police about this, they said the fenced-in area is as good as a sign.
So but that still doesn't protect the whole zone 1, but it will protect the area. And
It'll protect the wells.
the wells, right? Okay. So do you think that it's prudent to get more signs, or is there some possibly a way we can get like alternating signs? So
Well, if you do every 100 feet, if one drawing I put on the bottom exactly the perimeter, hold on, and the perimeter is 6,750 feet, which would bring you up to 68 signs. So that's kind of an expense that can be put with the security cameras if we're going to do a appropriation of money.
Well, you would figure out what the point of egress is, Dave, and that's where you would want to center your signs.
Right. I have 10 to put on all the paths.
Correct. Yeah. That should
I
be.
think that's a good start for sure.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about the intent of the law of the 100-foot thing, it's so you can trust they're actively trespassing, and if you catch them, right, and in there now it's posted trespassing on posted land. Now these are going to be residents and people that are probably not with malice intent, and the fenced in area is a completely different story. People that are in there, it's pretty clear, and just said so. I'm good with that. Any trailhead, you're saying? Trailhead opening area, obvious opening to the property?
There's a couple of ATV paths there, isn't there, Dave?
There is. And one of the things we're going to probably end up doing which is not going to cost money, is finding logs and rocks and putting them across those paths. As well as putting this, there's one trailhead on Spruce Street. There's at least 3 on Walnut. There's the main gate, and which is another one, and just there's another place for access on Ash Street. So if I put 2 on each side of those trails, then I should be able to close off all the trails.
Right. You have 2 things going there. You have town land, number 1.
Right.
Number 2 is you also have wetlands. So they shouldn't be riding ATV. There should be no vehicles within 100 foot of a wetland.
Correct.
So you've got 2 things going on there. So do we need to talk to conservation about that, or should?
Well, let's try these other measures. If we can do this without putting a kid in some kind of place where he's committing a felony, let's see how everything plays out. If I put the signs out, if I take logs and put them across the paths where they can't lift them, then it takes the backhoe to do it. that's the way of preventing those machines from
Yeah,
doing.
that's the deterrence part of it, and that's what I'm
Correct.
saying. We need to protect our natural resources too. So if you block that trail, are they going to go closer to the swamp?
I don't think there's a lot of swamp there.
Okay.
Most of that property is swamp, because brook runs through there.
Right.
So we're just trying to, if I do it right and put enough of it in, then we should be able to at least slow things down and make people walk around on the road instead of through.
Okay. Well, start with this fence. Let's make sure we add this to our next agenda and furnish any holes that need to be plugged. I would say absolutely use natural resources in your backhoe to block the trails. That's
I agree.
That's totally the thing to do. And I would say on the fence has my vote. I'm good for a motion on this.
I move that we approve on the fence as our fence company to do our work for $20,000.
Second, motion's been made and accepted, approved. Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor by roll call.
Jessica Funioli, yes.
Nathan Madela, aye. Vote carries unanimous in the affirmative. So yeah, let's get that. Call them up. They're going to start no later than August 19th, according to their. As long as we didn't lapse their quotation date, right? This is dated 7/30/24. Doesn't say anything about a quote being good for a certain amount of days or acceptance term, so it looks like we're good. Can you just, I guess, send out an email saying that yes, they're gonna start, and let's keep this very. I want the public to know
Yeah.
what's going on. There's no reason that this needs to be secret. There's everybody's water. These kids clearly just don't know what they're doing. I would hope.
Nathan, could you
And-
sign the on the fence invoice from last week when you get a minute and email it to me, or the approval to me?
Yeah, this is the first time I looked at a computer screen since.
I know. That one was from, if you need me to resend it, just let me know and I'll resend.
No, I have it. I can certainly do that.
And if you could, just approve everything that you want to by noon tomorrow so I can get everything down to the town hall.
Yes. Thank you, Brenda.
Thank you. No, I appreciate you and I know you don't feel well, so I do appreciate that fact. Thank you so much.
Are there any other comments regarding this topic of secure RE vandalism?
We'll make sure it gets on the next agenda and stays there until we finish up with it. And I'm just starting to get quotes on the different parts and everything and alternatives. And I have to get a quote from an alarm company, but before we do that, I actually have to have them finish rehabbing the inside of the buildings.
Yeah, you're not alone here. I mean, I don't know what I wish Todd was here. He's away on vacation. I'd like to hear the input of each commissioner and their ideas rather than just assuming, like, hey, we're going to do this, or this. It's nice to call the people and get the quotes, but if for whatever reason we have a different idea of scope, I would hate to have a vendor go back and do their work twice.
Right.
I know that I don't like to do quotes twice.
And also making sure that everything's falling in line with procurement too, so that you have two people, Dave, you can go through Katie, who is now able to do that, and the town administrator, and the new town administrator also.
I'm just trying to get an idea of of what it would cost, because we don't know if it costs 20,000, 50, or 100. And I'm just trying to give you like a ballpark area that this would cost about this, and this alternative would cost about that. And then we can get like we can put it out to bid afterwards. But how do you know how to appropriate things, or how far you want to go without some kind of idea and cost?
This is over 10,000. It's procurement, and also what's the threshold for the selectmen need to sign off on this?
It's if you have 3 quotes under 20,000, then that's good for the town. It's 50,000 for the state.
Well, you should go through the procurement officer anyway, because the officer will be able to tell you what whether it is or it isn't, because even though it fits in those parameters, Dave, there are sometimes that there are other things involved in whatever you're bidding on. So you got to be careful about it.
Correct. If this was like a water main project,
Yeah.
it's 10,000.
Yeah.
Because it's a public works project, and you have to meet. So I have my full procurement license.
No, I understand that, but we have the procurement officer of the town.
Right.
If something is going on with whatever kind of procurement for the town, the officer really should know about it,
Right.
just for an extra set of eyes on it.
Right. I believe Katie has it now.
Yes, Katie.
So-
Katie does the assistant accountant, and the town administrator.
Right. So I've been working with Katie to make sure we have the right methods.
Okay.
Okay, awesome. Hopefully this problem doesn't persist, and if it does, hopefully the fence does its job. And well, I guess that's it. So we can, without any other further comment or considerations, I'll call the meeting or entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting at 7:42 p.m.
A motion has been made. I second the motion. Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor?
Jessica Fanioli, yes.
Nathan Madela, yes. Vote passes in the affirmative unanimously. I adjourn the meeting here, Water Commissioners meeting here at